Next turn. We got ruins because we colonized the second large breather in the system, and we made first contact with the Twilight Collective, finally. Looks like they ran into our planet. Alright, let's see, what do we get? We have a 2 plasma missile weapons platform on this here planet. And they have a colony ship with a drone launcher. Interesting choice. And just a few, very few population. They are gas giant carbon dioxide breathers, very different from ours. So we are not necessarily competing for the same planet. So that makes me think this ship was just passing through. Is the ship itself armed as well? Why am I getting the radios? Oh, because it already launched a drone? Yes, because it already launched a drone. A hero bubble! It's a plasma missile ship with 2 bomblet missile launchers and an afterburner, or a combat thruster is what they're called for drones. And he's got minimum level engines. He's not even got any levels in ion engines. But I'm gonna have that level 3 combat thruster with the large drones. Alright. So he's taking a relatively similar strategy to me with those a couple levels in plasma missiles and trying to win a missile battle early on. Alright, let's see. Let's see what happens. Maybe I hit the drone, maybe I don't. Can plasma missiles even hit drones? Ship, base plane, satellite drones. Yes, they can hit drones. My missiles are only level 3. His missile was level 4. I have 220 range. Let's see if he has more range than I did. I have 2 missiles, he has only 1. But he has his 2 bomblet missiles, so maybe he'll be able to shoot 2 missiles down. Oh, he has 230 range. Maybe he will just staying out of range, just very, very barely. We'll see. Let's turn on the HP display so we can see a little better where they are. Alright, my PD took care of his stuff, and his PD took care of my 2 missiles. Yeah, I think it was just all missiles that got fired got shut down for the entire duration of the combat. Of course, his drone should probably be out of ordnance or nearby, or nearly so at this point. What do I have for PD anyway on this thing? 2 PD cannons and a flak. Bomblets are nice, but I wouldn't put them on a drone, especially that can run out of ammunition earlier, because bomblets actually consume ordnance as well. You probably want to save that for more missiles. Well, you can see here that the volleys that my planet is shooting, the 2 missiles are coming even farther apart every time. It makes them a little easier to shoot down compared to if they were just stacked on top of each other. Oh, they're stacked on top of each other again now. Maybe that's just firing time variation. It just looked like it was 1 missile. Now it's 2 missiles again. Not sure how well you can actually see that in the video. Alright. Accelerate this a little further. And his drone took off because it's out of supplies actually. Ran out of supplies just before it ran out of ordnance. Okay. Colony ship was just standing at the corner of the sector all this time. Alright. What did we get from the tech here? We got level 4 in plasma missiles actually. We got level 2 in vehicle systems. That's nice if you have large stations or large ships, which I don't. Can save a few kilotons of space in a ship there. Don't really need that, but it's nice to have, I guess. And we got a level in one of the sabotage techs, which they're really cheap to research usually, so that's not much of a gain. Build more of the miners on our first colony and our next to our home system. They're already being sent home and add to the budget. So we don't need to build any more miners in the immediate future. Alright, let's look at his empire. What are his choices? Let's look at the estimates first here. They always say possible report variance is 50%, so all the numbers here are can be taken with a grain of salt. Like he surely will not have a little more than 2,000 organics production just by default, I believe. And he's not going to have 7,100 population. If you look at the comparisons, it'll tell you that the population is 5,384, which is less. So it actually shows you more accurate info in the comparison screen there. But what the comparison screen does not show is it just tells you a number for how many ships and units somebody has. What this estimate screen shows us what types they are. So he's built 7 space stations. That looks to be accurate. Because I believe I've said one of the few turns ago that 7 is a nice number for space stations to have. And we've talked out game about building those 7 at the start using emergency build on your homeworld. Then he's built colony ships and 2 small freighters and a bunch of weapon platforms and large drones. Weapon platforms are given for defending your worlds once you have them. Small freighters could be anything. I don't think you can make drone launcher freighters anymore, so they are probably not combat ships, might be just that transport population or something. Maybe they're yard ships, who knows? And then a lot of colony ships. So after he's built the space yards, he's gone full into a colony rush, which is what you probably should do. What are his tech choices? Chemistry 2, obviously, for the missiles. He's got lots of level and space yards, yeah, so he's really going to be able to pump out his ships really quick. Level 6 in drones, with the large drones with the level 3 combat sensors we saw, obviously. Next we got 5 plasma missiles, it's probably level 4 and higher level point defense. That's it. He doesn't have anything otherwise than this. Anything else particularly expensive? Drones are pretty expensive to research. I think you actually need industry level 2 or something, or construction level 2. They need 1 or 2 levels in computers, and then you can tech drones, and drones are, I believe, start at 10k research points. They're relatively expensive to get right out of the gate, but it's possible with the 500k research points we started with. So we're going to be thinking about how to counter a drone-heavy strategy in the near future. Let's look at the other ones. Let's look at his race itself, no, not the picture. Give me his empire report. He has taken a collective, which gives him extra loyalty, intelligence, defense, population assimilation down. That is not particularly impactful. Loyalty and war tolerance makes people a little bit more likely to stay happy, especially if you're in a lot of fighting. Here the known technologies again, this appears to be just the same list with the same variation as we got over there. Look at the race itself. They are berserkers, same as me, which means he gets less resource income, less research, less trade, but that 10% reduction in ship unit maintenance. And some additional weapon bonuses. But the main point is that you pay less maintenance on your ships and units and can field larger fleets. Then he's taken racial traits for mineral collection up, organic collection down, but radioactive collection up, research collection down, intelligence collection down, space yard up. It's also taken the physically weak trait, because ship crew strength and ground combat damage is down, same as what I have. Happiness down. He's got a lot of the penalties in the normal traits picked here. He's got to have some expensive racial traits. Go down all the way. He's got the interdimensional technology tree. Yes. He also does not get happy or angry. So all the benefits from the collective are annihilated, as well as the happiness penalty that he took from the other trait there. He's got the lucky trait, He does not like the research events and the pollution events very much, so he's less likely to get those with this. And we also have high impact, high frequency, regular space events on, so it's less likely to get impacted by that. And I believe it also has an impact on sabotage, intelligence. And he's got that extra movement point for all vehicles, same as me. But what he does have, what I don't have, is the interdimensional tech tree. So the interdimensional tech tree is new in balanced mod 125 plus. And it allows you to get the null space weapons, the weapons that skip all armor and all shields. Those can be very, very nasty. Hmm. I'm going to have to look again what exactly this tree does. I'm going to tab out and look at the tech sheet real quick here. Question is not only what can you get with interdimensional tech right away, but what can you get later? What do I need to prepare for now and what do I need to prepare for later? So interdimensional technology. You get superluminal sensors at level 1 to 3, so he does not need to have the sensor tag tagged here in his regular systems. So we only have sensors level 1 shown. Doesn't need those because he gets interdimensional sensors, which can probably detect my stealth platings. What we also do not see is the interdimensional technology tree here. But I believe that can just be missing as part of the variation because this report that you get is incomplete. Then you get shields after level 5 in interdimensional technology, special null space shields that can't be skipped by anything. And then you get a flux pod, which is actually I'm not sure if it's the flux pod or the subspace field emitter, one of these two components that you unlock at level 4 or 5 of interdimensional tech is one that is basically a solar sail. I think one generates supplies, the other is a solar sail. It basically replaces the solar collection tech that you get normally, which I have. He doesn't need to have that with this. Weapons wise, there's going to be the Phase Disruptor. That's the starting weapon for the Interdimensional Tech 3. The Phase Disruptor is basically an APB, like an anti-proton beam, but with more accuracy. Normal beam weapons have their accuracy reduced at like half the normal rate. These Phase Disruptors have it reduced at quarter normal rate, which should make them relatively potent against small ships like what I have, or fighters like what I have. One option for me to counter this is to just go very hard into ECM and just stay with small fighters, small ships to really stack that to hit penalty so that even these accurate Phase Disruptors don't hit me. Or to just go for higher DPS, shorter range weapons. But the Phase Disruptor is of course not the only interdimensional weapon. The real thing that we're going to get is the null space projectors. That's which are a couple levels in here, level 4 it says. I am not sure if they can actually be mounted on drones, but I would assume so. They are essentially missiles that skip all shields and armor. One counter for these are these new bulkheads. These bulkheads are essentially shitty armor that you can put on the inside of a ship. Since regular armor is skipped, regular armor at level 3 would give me 30 hit points for 5 kilotons. A bulkhead would give me 25 hit points at 5 kilotons, so they're not as efficient as regular armor, but they can be put on the inside of a ship. You would put your actual components a little further inside on the ship because components get hit from the outside to the inside, and then just put bulkheads on the outside so that these get hit first as directional armor essentially. It's not as good as regular armor because normally all armor gets hit before any of the outer components get hit. So in addition to being less efficient on their structure HP, they only take effect if a ship gets hit from the direction where they're at. Bulkheads have a lot of downsides compared to just regular armor. They're really not something you want to rely on, which probably means that we're going to go, if we're fighting Mystic, which is not a given yet, that we're going to be using relatively weak ships, relatively easy to pop, but armed to the teeth. More weapons tonnage, less armor and shield tonnage. Okay, but since we are both just pursuing a long-range kiting strategy right now, I think our strategy should be to just stay with this and be able to win at that game instead of trying to go into short range. And then we could just try and make him a friend. He isn't necessarily somebody I want to fight, because he has gas giant, carbon dioxide, Aces types, which are not planets that I am currently looking for. In fact, I can't even colonize gas planets right now. Actually, let us see. Does he have the other colonization text in here? No, they don't show. I don't see ice planet colonization, rock planet colonization in this list, but this list, again, is not necessarily complete. So one of the things we can do is just try and ally him. At least, one thing that should be good for both of us is trying to offer him a trade treaty. No, not a trade, a treaty. Treaty for trade. Let's go for trade. Let's call it trade treaty or trade pact. And just set a trade percentage. That doesn't really do anything. We can still fight each other and everything, but we do get slightly more accurate intelligence on each other, I believe. If you have a treaty, I'm not going to send it right now. If you have a treaty, those report variance will, I believe, sink to 25%. Then we can judge him a little bit more accurately. Well, of course, we could immediately suggest a larger alliance. I'm a little worried that he appeared in this system, which is relatively close to my home system over here, when I'm trying to expand further out. So one of the things I might do is try and lock him out of some systems by proposing a treaty that prevents colonization here. Non-aggression in neutral space would prevent us from colonizing systems that the other already has a colony in. Let's go to trade pact yet again. Migration is also going to be an interesting option for us. It would allow us to make more use out of each other's planets right away. I could immediately use carbon dioxide planets, he could use my hydrogen planets, which would probably benefit me a little more since I have the extra facility space trade. And then interesting might be to share communications channels. It looks like he's more central on the map, whereas I am on the outside, so I haven't met anybody yet. But he might have met other people already. And I would like to get a more complete picture of what everybody has chosen and perhaps where everybody is before I really decide on what my grand diplomatic stance should be. So let's suggest on that. Yeah, and then there's sensor information, system maps. Let us both see where we are, but I don't think we're at that point yet. Maybe I'll talk to him between the turns and see if he's amenable to a more complete alliance. Then we don't have to do this kind of treaty negotiation like this, where we send each other suggestions every turn, and it'll take 10 turns for us to come to a proper agreement. Let's just send him this for now. and we'll do some other negotiations out game in chat. Should we role play this a little bit? Okay. Let's not be too hostile, since he didn't necessarily want to attack our planet, it looks like. Let's just say the Romulan Empire, all capitalized. Oh, that's the Romulan Star Empire because we are the Grand people. Okay, looks make those enough. Send this, and if he accepts this, it's going to be a colonization rush to put down claims on as many systems as possible, because planets or systems that already have a planet in them cannot be colonized by the other anymore then. Which means I should immediately colonize something in the system, for instance, because this is obviously high value for me and high value for him. Okay, let's see. You were initially supposed to go through that warp point, which is likely where this guy came from. Actually, we can see. If you look at the movement log, we can see what direction he came from. I would assume he came from there, since the ship started on that side of the map during the tactical combat. Yeah, he came from here, likely from that warp point. So, do we want to go through there and try to claim something in that system if it is still possible? Or do we want to go the safe route and claim one of these planets here? Huge breather, small breather, tiny breather, small breather. For him it would be a large and a small breather. Then there's this colonizer. We just sent this here because we didn't know what to do with this last turn after we discovered that it was a second colonizer sent to this planet. Let's have this guy. Yeah, let's have this guy stake a claim on this system. Are there any other warp points in here? No. You don't need to load any pop. Then we have this system save, and this rock colonizer can rush through and try to find something to colonize over there. Alright. Those are some terrible mineral values, terrible resource values. That just means it'll be a research colony. Okay. Then we colonized some other planets. You are going to be one big ass farm. Since we just discovered some hostiles, let's queue some weapon platforms. Actually, do we want to adjust our weapon platform so that they can take care of a drone like we just discovered? I mean, we saw that we cannot even fight a single drone. If he had a couple drones, he could probably overwhelm our PD. And a single ship can carry a couple drones if it really wants to. Things I don't think we can. Not if he has 230 range plasma missiles. There's nothing we have that can reach them but plasma missiles ourselves. I think the real answer there is fighters, not weapon platforms for defense, if we are worried about these drones. Oh, we have a drone already. We have a fighter already. How much range do you have? 100 with your small plasma missiles? And yes, you can most definitely target drones. Whereas the drone that he had bomblet missiles level 2, which have 120 range. So any small plasma fighter that I would build would also get in range of these bomblet missiles. That's not good. Have 120 range, really? That's so much range. Even if I put a couple of levels into plasma missiles, I don't think I would get to 100 or notably over 120 range really quickly. Even if you have 10 more range than your opponent, you're probably still going to get shot. Well, for now, what we need is not something that can fight these drones in open space, but just something to clean up the one drone that was left behind there. Just make a little scouting fighter or something. The laser. That can just take down the drone that was out of supplies. Can we give it a sensor or something? No, we can't. That is a really low DPS, really weak weapon. Like seriously, it's 30 range, 20 range, 4 damage. Maybe 2 seconds for 3 kilograms. DUC is at least 6 on 40 for the same size and rate of fire. Requires that 1 point of ordnance, of course, whereas the laser doesn't. Probably not going to be building a lot of these fighters. Actually, I've put in 2 weapons. Some more plates of armor, extra ammo. Would need this much ammo, but I wanna send it to sit somewhere. Let's put in a 3rd plate of armor and call it done. Ah, right, we had this weird naming scheme. I'm not really happy with this high fantasy naming theme for our Romulan race. I don't think I can change it later. I'm just going to look up what the Romulan design names are out game. Pick something from there. Alright, where did we save them? Where are these put? We put them into balance mode directory. Oh, they're under data design names. Okay, R, Romulan, Romania, no Romulan. Alright, see what we have here. Let's call this thing a killer hawk or something, sure. Isoprey, whatever that is. Strategy is going to be optimal break. And yeah, a lot of effort for a tiny fighter. We just want to build 1 or 3 of. Let's queue some. Actually, it doesn't show you the drone here anymore. It might have gone back onto the colony ship, since that counts as its carrier. We can most definitely build a couple of these per turn. Q4. Actually, we're building the space yard. We're not going to interrupt building the space yard, so let's queue them for past the space yard here. And if he's still around, we can take care of him then. That also means we're going to be wanting warp point blockade sooner, so colony ships or scouts cannot intercept us. They cannot enter our systems and intercept colony ships or scout us, or snag colonies in our system. For those, we're going to be wanting to build our regular plasma fighters though. Let's build 2 parties of 10 each. 10 is not very much, because these are actually relatively low DPS weapons, because they shoot only every 10 seconds. Plasma missile fighters tend to need large swarms to be effective, so let's Put at least 10 or not just a couple out. Let's put this up here on the top. We could delay getting the resupply depot, but we've already put a couple points into it, most likely, so let's just leave that there. We're going to be fine if it takes another 3 or 4 turns until we get something up. Who knows what will happen to this colonizer? I'm more worried about the colonizers after it, not this one. Then it looks like he's coming from somewhere this way. We're going to need to worry about this system once we have something here. Colony that this one make will have to be building something right away, and we are going to be building, after this one is there, something to go up in the system that will immediately need some fighters. Alright. Now, what do we want to build in our homeworld? I said I wanted ships that did not have the solar collectors anymore and instead went harder on either an armor plate or stealth plate in order to not get detected, but it looks like our immediate neighbor is probably going to be able to attack them using his interdimensional sensors. Or just go harder into cargo space. We could do both. It's not out of question. I think I want to push harder into what's likely hostile space. So I'm going to be putting a stealth armor plate there, and I'm going to put a sensor on there. A scanner doesn't fit as well. So with the last 10 kilotons, we are going to be building a self-destruct device as an option. So people don't get our like solar sail, level 2 crew quarters, level 3 sensors. They do try to capture it. Actually, let's put the sensor inside as well, because they are one of the last things I want to get hurt on a ship. If a ship gets stranded in space, I would at least like to see what's around it still. Yeah, that should be fine. Stealth armor, the self-destruct device, and the sensor. We still have 40 kilotons of cargo base that we can use otherwise, with, for instance, a fighter launcher or something, or drone launcher. Many ships can defend themselves and take down other colony ships they encounter, perhaps even colonies. Would require some extra construction on our homeworld to fill these up, which I don't like, and I don't want to do that right now, so let's not. If I had a colony right next to our home planet that could build something right now, could build fighters for these to pick up, then I would. Alas, that is not the case, so let's make this our colonizer Rock 2. Or should we give this a different name to signify that it's essentially a different purpose? This one was a long-range colonizer. This one is a colonizer that's supposed to sneak around, possibly already scouted and colonized systems. No, I don't think so. Okay, let's give this guy the same stuff. Self-destruct device, sensors, ammo. Solid. And queue some up. Cost-wise, they still look like to be in the same ballpark. Yeah, ice rock, ice rock. We already gave the order to colonize this one. It's just going to load population, which it doesn't need to, but it's fine. And what else have we? After this, what was it? The fourth empty system, fourth nebula system. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, there was a black hole in here. These were still normal systems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 empty systems at this edge of the galaxy, we finally found a regular system again. Regular still meaning a diminished system, which has fewer planets than most because it's a binary, but still. Let's send you further away. because we can get ships further away, and I want to make contact with as many people as possible, get as much intel on faraway people as possible right now, because later on in the game, when the systems are more filled with guards units, I'm probably not going to be able to send scouts far away anymore. So you go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 to jump through. So there's nothing we can optimize here anymore. It uses all of its 11 move points. Then we have our colonizer down here. Gas giant methane, gas giant methane. No, it was a friend that was carbon dioxide, not methane. I was gonna say that's a nice planet, a nice system for him, but no, it isn't. There's 3 warp points down here. Are any of these large and likely to be homeworlds? No. There's a ruin there though. Talking about any of these likely to be homeworlds? No. There is, however, a ruin here as well. A little far away for us to try and send something there right away. So we're also going to send this eagle towards the eastern warp point, the right one. Calling it east only making sense if there was any way for this map not to be absolute. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to jump through. Same deal as up here. And next turn we're going to discover 2 more systems. No ships other than these requiring attention. We gave orders to this. There's no need to upgrade our existing ships, existing designs with the crew quarters level 2 and such, because they will actually be like 1 organics point more expensive without actually giving us a benefit. We've used the self-destruct device on our new designs. We could upgrade our designs with better plasma missiles, that is true. We've queued up some of the fighters which could use better plasma missiles. Wait, the fighters use small plasma missiles. We don't have those. And we have not actually built these orcs yet. There's no need to upgrade anything. Let's just queue up a new design. They don't have any missiles. We need to upgrade the or gargoyles. 2 designs and queues have been upgraded. Okay, they will soon have 230 range as well. These guys don't have any, these guys don't have any, and these guys will not benefit from any. Something we're probably going to want to get soon is a level in small weapons. Alas, we are still going to be spending some time on gas giant colonization. Okay, that took a little longer because we were finally making our first contact. Let's see what happens diplomatically if he decides to accept this treaty, if he decides to ally, if he decides not to ally, which probably means picks me as a war target. Let us see.